How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. Time for some more black metal review, and this time we have an awesome band from Pennsylvania, USA that started in 2021. They came out this year, April 14th, 2023, with their debut self-titled album, Wild Beyond by Wild Beyond. Before we get started with this, I want to make a special kind of thank you to Wild Beyond for trying so hard with me to work on the shipping to Canada for this, as for some reason Bandcamp's trying to charge around $40 shipping on top of the CD price to get it to here in Canada. So if you want a copy from Canada, you might have to contact the band directly on their Instagram or Facebook if they have one. So yeah, thanks again so much to Wild Beyond for working with me, trying to get their CD to me here in Canada. I appreciate it so much, and I apologize on the behalf of the postal system for charging so much to ship a CD across the border from US. So yeah, with that house cleaning out of the way, let's talk about this awesome black and thrash metal band from Pennsylvania. The members in the project are Edward Gonay III on vocals and guitar, Jimmy Viola, who's on bass, guitar, and keyboards, so the triple threat here, and Evan Madden on the drums. Alright, first up, let's talk about the vocals. They were mid-level in the mix volume-wise, sitting just slightly under the guitars here and there. A great performance overall, regardless of the technique used. And the style of vocals you could expect in this are a grinding, angry snarl type of vocals, some black and demonic raspy growls, and a cold, feral, scathing oral attack in general. Alright, let's talk about the guitars. They were mid to higher in the mix, obviously meant to be one of the main focus points in this album. There is also a great performance from the guitars throughout the entire album. You can expect some crazy tremolos, some chainsaw-like power chords, some doomy atmospheric compositions, and even some nice shreddy solo work mixed in with some grim melodic riffs. Next up is the bass, and you could actually hear it this time, which was nice. It was about mid-level volume-wise in the mix, just under the vocals for the most part. It was very noticeable in the track Exit Wound, which was a really nice minute and a half or so instrumental track. The bass was really effective and nicely incorporated in this, to say the least. It was crunchy and full. There's also some hefty and enjoyable gain here and there, and added an electric, powerful buzz to the overall production. Alright, moving on lastly to the drums. It was mid to highish volume in the mix, not quite overtaking the guitars, and they were fantastically well done here as well. As for what to expect, there was double kick pedals galore and blast beats, the odd Euroblast I found, and even the odd D-beat, which was kind of cool. Definitely some breakneck fills and tom work. There was also some great transitions and pretty good adaptation to time and tempo changes. So that's my thoughts on the instruments and what to expect from them. Let's move on to my favorite tracks. Starting up with the very first track, that is Antichrist Coronation. It had an excellent build up to their signature sound and style for this album. Then it blasts into outer space with some unworldly fast fretwork and ends with an incredibly juicy riff. Second is track number 5, Frenzied at the Skull. It had a great attention-grabbing intro, just this buzzing bass slide and boom, leading to some frosty and foreboding guitar work, and another grimiest riff ever at the 1 minute and 37 second mark. Next up on my favorite tracks is track number 2, Arctic Stargate. A generally great example of what Wild Beyond have to offer. Breakneck riffs, grim dark melodies, grooves, atmosphere, and anxiety-inducing tension and urgency. And let's not forget track number 6, In the Footsteps of Mars. This track had some great black and thrash energy in general. some eerie solo work, and quick galloping thrash riffs. So yeah, it seems they put together a couple of the really good tracks back to back, that being track 1 and 2, and then 5 and 6 to fill out the album evenly in between the other songs. Let's move on to my overall thoughts now. This is more of a black metal effort than a thrash metal project, but you could easily find their patch on either vest if you're going for a thrash vest or a black metal vest. I think it'd be fitting on either one. It wouldn't be hard to say that Wild Beyond is for fans of High Command, Saccage from Quebec, and even the likes of Immortal. Wild Beyond has burst onto the scene like a pack of ravenous wolves, in my opinion. The vocals and guitar resembling that of a frost giant merged with the Fenris wolf of legend, giving a mighty and frenzied delivery worthy of any Arctic warrior traversing the cosmos, spoiling for battle. Also accompanied by some drumming like that of mortar shells exploding in the night skies, and finally the bass rumbling like a looming black hole in the distance. I definitely found that Wild Beyond certainly traversed the borders of black metal and thrash metal here and there, mostly having a just super speedy, hyper aggressive version of thrash mixed in amongst the black metal and just frosty, venomous tremolos and mostly black metal style vocalings in here. But the thrash energy and influence were definitely not missing by any means. I feel like Wild Beyond wanted to blow our faces off right out of the gate, but probably have some surprises for us in the near future. All right, moving on to any improvements or weaknesses that I could find. The things I'm going to say are mostly just nitpicks though. The vocals could be just a pinch higher in the mix, at least from the device that I was listening to it from. I got some nice stereo headphones that I have in stereophonic mode, so I can hear everything that's going on for the most part. But maybe if you're listening on smaller speakers, the vocals might come through clearer, or a different setup on your home theater stereo, they might come through different. But from what I heard, I feel like the vocals could be up just a tiny bit because they're really, really good. I enjoyed everything that the vocalist did style-wise and different types of techniques that the vocalist used. So I definitely want to hear more of it in the future. And another slight nitpick, if you can even call it that, hints of some groovy hooks popped up here and there throughout the album, but I feel like they could have just stayed in the pocket a little bit longer or a little bit more before hitting the accelerator to the floor. So don't expect any Metallica Seek and Destroy or Megadeth Skin in My Teeth type licks in this. It is mostly full speed ahead the entire way. But that being said, I also feel like I wasn't missing out on any memorable melodic efforts or anything like that. It was a very speedy, aggressive, powerful record that pretty much didn't let up 95% of the time, but they still took enough of a break here and there, doing a couple other things, either kind of grim, doomy riffs or an atmospheric layering here or there, or just a quick little slight groovy riff that it didn't seem that samey throughout. So even with how fast they are going the entire album, I still got nice little breaks here and there to enjoy different techniques in guitaring or different tempo changes. And with that being said, I'm giving this a solid 9.5 out of 10. Amazing album, just some fantastic black and thrash out of seemingly nowhere. Pennsylvania has some great bands, and this is just another one coming out of there. So yeah, definitely make sure you go to their Bandcamp and pick up a copy, either digital or physical. Again, you might need to talk to the band about shipping if you're from Canada, but it's certainly worth it if you have the money. And I apologize again to the band that I was not able to give the amount of money I definitely feel this album deserves. So please go check that out. This is an album worth listening to if you're a thrash fan, if you're a black metal fan, even if you're like a a crust punk fan and stuff like that. There's just hints of like Akitsa in this, Immortal, and again, High Command, Sakaj. They even have a really cool couple of shirts on their Bandcamp. One is in pre-order right now. It is this design. Really, really cool. I dig the logo on the left side and the magenta. You don't get too much magenta in the thrash or black metal especially scene. So yeah, I would definitely love to get a copy of that. Luckily, they go up to XL. Maybe they'll think of some XX or triple XL for the Meteor fans in the future. But for now, it's, I think, small to XL. Hopefully I'll be able to snag a copy in the future, and we'll definitely be repping it here on the channel if I get one. So again, I'm Jesse Morgan, and I did buy this album. Go check out Wild Beyond's debut from April 2023 this year. Totally worth the 9.5 out of 10. Great band. Cheers. For Glory, for the Rebellion, Slammerella out.